Keith Urban, You're Gonna Fly, Country 102.5, written by LOCASH. Nice job. Nice job, guys. So you were just telling me during the song, first of all, thank you, Chris, for telling me who was singing background vocals.
Little Big Town.
Little Big Town.
Yeah,
I did not know. That's very cool.
It is cool. When we found that out, it was more chill bumps. So
no, wait, you didn't ask them? It just happened?
That's Keith. That's all
that
Keith.
Was all
man.
Keith.
And
he even added the whistle.
Yeah, he added the whistle in.
The whistle was not on the demo.
Oh.
And when we first heard the song, here's this whistle out of nowhere, and we're like, what in the world? But it's so awesome.
We asked him that. We asked him, why'd you put a whistle in it? I was like, we love it, but why'd you do it? And he's like, I was listening to Guns N' Roses in his convertible, top down, listening to Guns N' Roses, and it's Paradise City where the whistle comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to get a whistle. So he went to Walgreens.
Yeah, you would think it would be like a musical whistle, like some
like a
real whistle.
A muscle whistle.
It's a Walgreens whistle.
Keith Urban goes into Walgreens to buy a whistle.
Can you imagine? Sounds like a joke.
I know. It's awesome.
So tell us how that song changed your life.
All right, we're going to do the edited version of this. This was a very emotional time in our life. It was 2011. We had just lost our record deal. Our song was getting ready to go top 30.
Yep.
And the record deal pulled the plug, and when that happens, the song and the artist suffers. You know, it has nothing to do with the artist. It happens all the time in Nashville. And I lost my dad that year, and in the beginning of the year, so it started out really, really rough for me. He was my biggest fan, and you know, him and my mom had just always been there for me. And so a couple of days later, I lose my aunt, who was another huge fan, and then the label, and then the song, and then we lost our fiddle player, who was young, you know, and he died. And I remember sitting in the back of the bus and talking to Preston, and we're just like, well, what are we going to do, man? I mean, how do you get by this?
And we were stuck on our record deal. Just because the label closed its doors, we were still stuck on the deal, you know?
Right.
And so we were trying to figure out, are we just spinning our wheels? Are we doing this for nothing? There's been so much loss this year. Or do we just pick ourselves back up and keep going? And so, man, out of nowhere, right when it was the darkest, Keith Urban called and said, guys, I'm recording the song that you guys wrote, You're Gonna Fly. And not only am I recording it, it's going to be my next single.
5 minutes before that phone call, I was holding my kid like Simba and Mufasa, holding him in the air. And I was depressed. I just got done crying to my wife. We were living in an apartment. And I was like, I think I need to get another job. And she's like, okay, well, whatever we got to do to make it. And I started just bawling and how rough 2011 was. And that's 5 minutes. 5 minutes after that, sitting on that same couch, Keith called me. And
that is game changer
there.
It
was unbelievable.
I didn't even believe it was Keith Urban when he called me.
No, he questioned him.
I really did.
Is that a
called,
fake Australian
Well,
accent?
he called, and I was like, hello?
Like him.
I was like, hello? And I didn't recognize the number, so I thought it was a bill collector, actually. And I answered the phone. I was like, hello? I changed my voice a little bit, you know? And he was like, yeah, is Preston there? And I was like, this is him. And he goes, this is Keith Urban. And I was like, yeah, right. You know? And I was like, sing something. And
no,
so,
you did not.
Yeah, man. And he was like, dude, I'm not going to sing anything, but this is Keith. And I was like, okay, it's starting to really sound like Keith on the phone. So I believed him.
It changed their life.
Say shrimp on the Barbie. Say something.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny because that new song that's out, Forever Country, it's got all the artists. His voice is so recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the beginning, like, you go, oh yeah, that's Keith Urban.
Yeah.
The other ones you kind of listen for, but
Yeah.
he definitely has that recognizable voice. Well, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I know, you know, we still talk to him. We text him, and yeah, that's right, we text Keith Urban. But no,
He said
ju-
that out loud.
He's so humble, man. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't care. He's like, how you doing, Chris? I mean, it's the coolest thing. I still get goosebumps even when meeting him. You know, because we're fans of his music also, and he has no idea how much he helped us get to where we're at right now.
You know, and we wanted to give him something special to say thank you for changing our lives. But what do you get Keith Urban?
Yeah, that he
I
doesn't
mean, him and
have,
Nicole have everything. You know,
Right.
we're like, what do we do?
A whistle?
And we got him a whistle.
How'd you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Did you
No, I'm
know
just
that?
guessing. 'Cause what else? Because he went into the Walmart or wherever he went to get that.
I'm
Well, not-
calling you for gift ideas from
amazing.
now on.
We had this idea for a whistle,
dropping the mic.
and we're like,
I'm
where do
sorry.
we get? And I'm like, we should make it gold, like a gold whistle.
So we had it dipped in gold.
No.
Yeah.
Did you put initials or anything on it?
Yeah, we put number 1 and fly on it.
What? But it was an award, best use of a whistle in a song.
Yeah. and when you open it, and
That's
And he
awesome.
blew the whistle, and the whole #1 party went crazy.
See, that probably means more than that convertible he's driving around in. Come on.
Yeah,
Maybe not. Well, we want to talk babes and babies,
All right.
and we want to play a game with you guys.
All right.
But first, we're going to hear another song that you wrote for a very famous man, and tell us quickly how Tim McGraw got his hands on Truck Yeah.
Man, it was a couple of months after You're Gonna Fly, so it just started. The
ball
the
rolling.
ball started rolling, and Chris Jansen calls and kind of, we wrote it with Jansen, and he's kind of like, guys, I think McGraw might cut Truck Yeah, and we're like, yeah, right, dude, come on, man, he's not gonna cut Truck Yeah. And I was like, no, seriously, his kids love it, and they're loving it right now, and not even.
While I was on the
Yeah,
phone with
that's
Chris
right.
Jansen, he was like, dude, I heard he's going to cut the song. And I was like, I don't think so. This isn't how it works, Jansen. They got a call from the publisher, and I got to say, okay. And then while I was on the phone with Chris Jansen, I get call waiting. I get a little beep. And I'm like, I look at my phone, and it's the publisher.
Oh.
I'm not lying. And I was like, hold on, Jansen. So I click over, and they were like, McGraw's going to cut Truck Yeah. And I clicked over. I was like, okay, you can go crazy now. It's official. And he was mowing his yard.
Yes.
And he was like going full speed. He's screaming and mowing and running down bushes, and
You're
it was
like
crazy.
living the dream. Like,
And now we're signed to McGraw's Publishing.
well, didn't it all just come full circle?
It's amazing.
That's awesome. Well, let's check out Truck Yeah on Country 102.5 LOCASH here in studio live.